Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
To see you all. Hare Krishna. Actually, we were in the middle of 6th chapter. Last Sunday, nobody joined, so I couldn't complete it. So today we'll be completing that remaining 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Is it
Yes,
visible?
Mataji.
Is it visible now? Yeah. We were somewhere near 24 sloka. You don't have. This is okay. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, ma. Kritika, you can start with 25th sloka.
Okay, Mataji. Text 25. शनैः रूपमे बुद्ध्या धृति गृहीतया आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा न किंचिदपि चिन्तयेत्. Translation. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'll just start with the prayers, ma. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all. So, sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita is about the Dhyana Yoga. So, we were discussing like how to concentrate upon the Lord. So we have covered few verses. With a short recap, I think we can continue. So, verse 25 says like, Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna step by step. So one will become advanced in Krishna consciousness. So we just have to fix our mind and all our senses onto the Lord. Then automatically He will take us further. Yes. Next, Amit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Text 26. Yato yato nischalati anaschanchalamastiram tatastato niyamatyo datvo neba basang dayet. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self.
In the previous verses, the mind, there's a verse which says that it is very difficult to control the mind. It has been compared to that of the wind. When the air breezes and all, it is easy, but once it comes like a storm and on a larger scale, we'll not be able to control it. So, mind is more difficult to control than a wind. That's what is been compared. Hare Krishna. Next. Yes, Makritika.
Text 27. Prashantamanasam yenam yoginam sukhamuttamam upaiti shantarajasam brahmabhutam akalpasham. Translation. The yogi, whose mind is fixed on me, verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme, and thus he is free from all the reactions to past deeds.
Yeah. A yogi means a devotee who has put all his senses and mind on his Lord. He is there in the mode of a goodness. So he has no other way to think about any other material thing, but he is gazed and fixed his concentration only on the Lord. Can you give an example? Somebody can see example of a yogi who has fixed his mind onto the Lord? Any example from Srimad Bhagavatam? Hare Krishna. Like Dhruv Maharaj, isn't it? So Dhruva, when he was meditating, so he's standing upon one leg and in a mountain pose. Totally, his focus is on to the Lord, isn't it? So that sort of a yogi is said to be in a mode of goodness, and he is free from all the reactions, whatever. Because when he started the meditation, his only aim was to sit on the lap of his father. But when he started meditating upon the Lord, then he has given up so many things. With a lot of austerity, he started concentrating on the Lord, isn't it? Next. Yes, I think Mihir, you have joined. You can start reading this.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yunjan Evam
Shall I help you?
Sada. Yes, Mataji.
Yunyanevam sadatmanam
Yunjan Evam Sadatvanam
yogi vigata kalmasha
Yogi Vijata Kalmasya
sukhena brahma samsparsham
Sukhena Brahma Samsparsham
atyantam sukhamasnute. Atyantam sukhamasnute.
Atyantam Sukhamam Sukham Namaste.
Asnute.
Atmate. Thus, the self-controlled yogi constantly engaged in yoga practice becomes free from all the material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord.
So it's the same thing what we have discussed. So this aptly applies to Guru Maharaj story. Yes, Kritika. Hare Krishna, Kritika. Yeah, otherwise Amit can read.
सर्वभूतस्थमात्मनं सर्वभूतानि जनात्मनि ईशते जगत्तत्मा सर्वत्र समदर्शनः. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere.
Person who is there in the mode of a goodness can see the individual soul which is present in the elephant, in a cat or a dog eater. So Brahmana, everyone he sees the same soul which is there in a other living entity. Hare Krishna, Kritika.
Hare Krishna. Text 31. 31 na?
No, 30.
Okay, sorry. Text 30. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. Translation. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor he is ever lost to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So whosoever can see Lord wherever he can, so he is never lost. So this is again aptly applies to Dhruv Maharaj and even to the Prahlad Maharaj story also. Yes. Mihir.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Sarva Bhuta Samstam
Sarva Bhuta Sthitam Yo Mam
Sarva Bhutam Sthitam Yo Mam
Bhajati Ekatvam Asthita.
Bhajati Ekam Mastita
Ekatvam Asthita.
Ekatvam Astita
Sarvata Vartamanopi
Sarvata Vartamanopi
Sayogi Mai Vartate.
Sayogi Mani Vartate. Translation. Such a yogi who engages in worshipful service of the Supreme Soul, knowing that I am the Super Soul are one, remains always in me, in all circumstances.
Yeah, the known person who bhatakta nahi, because he has reached the destination. That's what is the meaning of this. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Amit.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति च अर्जुन सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखं स योगी परमामतः. He is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress. O Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. For a realized soul, he knows that everybody is in the same situation. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Somebody by name 108 that have joined. Can you please unmute yourself and read the sloka? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Your good name, please.
My name is Pritadeep Datta.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Are you well versed in recitation? You need some help.
No. I understand this.
Yeah. Please read.
Arjuna Vacha. Yoyam Yogastvaya Prakasha na Prokta Samyena Madhusudhana Etasya Dham na Pasyabmi Kankala
No, it is
Tvatam
Chanchala. Chanchalatvat.
Inchalatva Smritam.
Okay.
Miram.
Sitim Stiram.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can read the translation also.
Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady.
Yeah. This we will take the next sloka. Hare Krishna. Kritika, please, ma.
634. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramadi balavadradam tasyaham nigraham manye vayuriva sudushkaram. Translation. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The same thing we have discussed in the previous verse, isn't it? It is very difficult to control the mind. So it's more difficult than controlling the wind. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Mihir. Hare Krishna. You're not audible.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, ma'am.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Asam Yasam Mahabaho Mano Doni Graham Chalam Abhyasena Yukanteya Vairagyecha Grihate Grihayate
Vairagyena cha grihyati.
Vairagyena Cha Drishyate. Translation. Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty Ram son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind. Mataji, is that curb?
Yes.
What is the meaning, Mataji?
Control.
Okay, but it is possible to suitable suit, it is
Practice
possible by suitable practice and detachment.
by
Hare Krishna Mataji.
detachment.
Detachment.
Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, it's very difficult to control the restless mind, but it can be controlled with the practice and detachment. Hare Krishna, Amit.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Text 36. असंगतत मना यग दुष्प्रापयति मे मतिः पश्यात्मना तु यतता शक्याबाहत्वत्तमापायतः.
Yes.
Translation. For all whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Only a focused mind can achieve anything, isn't it? That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Yes, Datta. Hare Krishna. Please unmute yourself and read this verse.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Arjuna uvacha ayati श्रद्धा यत्पितो योगे कलिता मानसा
Chalita, Chalita. Ayati Shraddhaya Opeto.
ayati श्रद्धयोपेतो योगाच
Yoga Chalita Manasa.
मनसा अपराप्य योग संसिद्धां काम गतिम कृष्ण गच्छति.
Yeah.
Arjuna said, O Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who is the beginning takes to process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism?
So, people who get lost in the material world, they cannot become focused, and it becomes difficult for them to attain the perfection. That's what Arjuna is saying to Krishna. Yes. Kritika.
Text 38. Kachino bhaya vibrashtas chinna brahmiva nashyati apratishto mahabaho vimudo brahmana pathi. Translation. O mighty Am Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a raven cloud with no position in any sphere?
Yeah. So again, Arjuna is asking his doubt. Yes. Next, Amit. Amit is not there. Okay. Yes, Mihir.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Ekam ekam samshayam Krishna chestum hasyasvetataha swadanyya sam Mataji, I want your help.
Etan me samshayam Krishna.
Ekam samshayam Krishna
Chetum arhasi asesata.
chetu mar hasyasvetataha
Tvadanya
swadanyya
samsayasyasya
samshayasya
chetana
chetana
hi
hi
chetana hi
he
Upapadyate.
upapadyate. Translation: This is my doubt, O Krishna. I say you to dispel it completely, but for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna is asking Krishna, can somebody destroy it completely? We will see what Lord will answer to that. Yes, Amit, did you join back? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, please read, Ma.
Text 40. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Partha naiveho namutra vinasastascha vidyate nahi kalyanakrit kaschid durvatin tat gacchati. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, son of Pritha, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities, does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Lord is replying to Arjuna's doubt. Son of Pritha. See, a person who is engaged in auspicious activity, and when all his senses, including the mind, is engaged on worship of the Lord, then it's very difficult that he will meet with a destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. So, he's never been entangled in any of this material activity, and he can easily overcome the evil. Yes. Hare Krishna. Datta, you can read this.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Text 41. Prapya punya kartam lokam usitva sasvat samaha sachitam srimanta gehe yoga brashto vijayate. Translation. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment of the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy.
Yeah. So
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We have to do a lot of karma process, unless we complete all our past karma, we'll be very fortunate enough again to be born in a righteous family where we can get liberated and will not come back to this. Yeah. Next. Hare Krishna, Kritika.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 42. अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यदीदृशम्. Translation. Or, if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, he takes birth in family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world.
Yeah. I think that is self-explanatory. Next, Amit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Text 43. Tatra tang buddhi samjagam lavate parvadehikam yata teja tato bhuyam shansidhyau kurunandana. Translation. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Kuru.
Yeah. So such a birth is very, very rare. And if somebody is getting like that, again, he will be successful in completing that task, or what is say, the life which has been given, the precious life which is been given, he will be successful in what do you say, in progressing Krishna consciousness. So that's what he's telling to Arjuna. Hare Krishna, Mihir.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेन तेनैव द्वितीयाते
Hriyate
ह्रियते
avasopi sa
अवसोऽपि जिज्ञासुरपि योग्यस्य शब्दब्रह्मातिवेरते
vartate. Yeah.
वर्तते. Translation: by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures.
Scriptures. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. So person who is already inborn in a good family and he has just come to relieve his final karma in this life, he will be automatically attracted to the yogic principles, even without seeking them. And his inquisitiveness will always push him to read all the Vedas and follow all these scriptural reading and all those things and making further progress in the bhakti. Yes, Datta, you can read next.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
45. प्रयत्नाद यता मानसतु योगी संशुद्ध किल्वेश अनेक जन्म संसिद्धस्ततो याति parangatim. Translation: and when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many, many works of practice, he attains the supreme goal.
Yeah. It is like a diamond, which is been covered with the dust for a long time. So the moment you started polishing it, it will automatically reveal its true identity. So we can compare to that. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Kritika.
Hare Krishna Mataji. 40, text 46. Tapasvibhyodhiko yogi, jnanibhyopi madhodika, karmibhyashadhiko yogi, tasmad yogi bhavarjana. Translation: a yogi is greater than an ascetic, greater than an empiricist, and greater than the fruity worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi.
Yeah. So he's above all. That's what Lord Krishna means to say here. Yeah. Amit, you can conclude with this.
Text 47. Yadinamapi sarvasham madagatenparatmana Sadhavanavajate Yomam Shame Juktatamamataha. And of all yogis, the all with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving services to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion.
So, yeah, Hare Krishna. So, who is the highest of all? A person who has engaged all his senses, including mind, in the service of the Lord, and he's totally meditating upon the Lord. So, he's there in the mode of a goodness, and he sees everybody with an equal vision, and he can identify individual soul as a part of a super soul. So such a person is said to be the highest of all, and he's sure to attain me. That's what Lord Krishna will conclude in the 6th chapter. Shall we proceed to the next chapter, 7? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I'll
Yes,
just check
Mataji.
how many are there. We'll do half and half we'll complete tomorrow. Okay. I think 30, 15 we will do it today. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Meher, you can start, ma. So the first 6 chapters is about the Karma Yoga. We have finished that. Now that we are in the Bhakti Yoga chapters, chapter 7 to 12 is the most important chapters where Lord Krishna will reveal, after attaining to a certain platform, like till 6th chapter, doing lot of sadhana bhakti, a person has reached to some stage. No, after he reached, like, all his senses are engaged in the service of the Lord, how he will progress further. That will be unveiling in every chapter, and we'll come to know how Arjuna will be able to see the Krishna. Yes, Mami, here you can start.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Bhagavan
Maya Saktamana Partha
Maya Sattamana Partha
Yogam Yunjan Madashraya
Yogam Yunjanmana Srata
Asamshayam Samagram Mam
Asamshayam Samagramam
Yata Jnayasi Tashrunu.
Yatha Jnayasi Tat Gunu. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead says, "Now hear, O son of Partha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So again, Lord is confirming here. So people who practice yoga in full consciousness of me and with all the senses, including the mind, which is totally attached to me, they are going to know me in full without any doubt. Okay, Hare Krishna. Next, I think Datta, you can read.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
2. Jnanang tehang savijnanamidang vaksamyasesatang sesatah yajjatvang neha bhuyot nehatyaj Nyatwabhyam avasisyate. Translation: I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here Lord is again saying, no, the Lord is declaring that, and full this knowledge, both the phenomenal and luminous. So after you know totally about, there is nothing further which will be remain to know. So then you are eligible to know about me. So that will come to know in further. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Kritika.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 3. Manushanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattatah. Translation: out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth.
See, many people will be trying to know about the Lord. Many people will be practicing, and so many people will take a different ways to know about the Lord. But not all will be successful. If you take an example, any Olympic race or any sports, number one position is only one. No. Similarly, devotee also only very few people will attain that stage. So it is such a difficult thing. We need to actually compete in bhakti also. Yeah. Yes, ma Amit.
भूमिराप अनल भयं खं मनबुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इति यं मे भिन्ना प्रकृतिस्तथा. Translation: Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. All together, these eight constitute my separate material energies.
Hare Krishna. If you remember in your level 1 class, there is one man's picture where the gross body, subtle body, and the soul will be there. If you remember, the gross body is made up of these 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay. And the subtle body, which will take on all the punishments for what all deeds we have done in this life. So that is the mind, intelligent, and the false ego. So this all is 8 will constitute my separated material energies. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Yes, Madatta, you can read next.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Aparayam itas aparayam mitta swabd sanyang prakriting bindi me param jiva bhutvam mahabaho yayedang dharyate jagat. Translation: Besides there, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mine which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material, inferior nature.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Actually, when you go to the
Hare
purport,
Krishna.
there is the detailed description
Yeah.
of the superior energy and the inferior energy. Because of lack of time and consistency in the number of participants, we are doing the shortcut method. So the superior energy of the Lord is constitutes of all the things which are permanent, eternal, ever existing. When come to the inferior nature, that all these 8 elements which I have discussed in the previous verse will come to this. The inferior nature is all the Jivatma which is composed of. Yeah. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Next, yes, Kritika.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 6. Etadhyonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya aham krishnasya jagata prabhavah pralayastata. Translation: All created beings have their source in these two natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution.
Yeah. So both are, who is the owner of both the natures? Again, the Krishna. Okay, both the material as well as the spiritual. And he's the origin and dissolution of all this thing. That's what Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. Yes, ma'am. Mihir?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I need help.
Matta parataram nanyat.
Mata param karam
Parataram nanyat.
kartaram nanya
Kinchit asti dhananjaya.
chit asti dhananjaya
Mayi sarvamidam protam.
mayi sarvamidam krutam
Sutre manigana iva.
sutre manigana iva. Translation: O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything resets upon me as worlds are strung on a thread. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, if you remember your level 1 class, will be showing in the PPT one pearl necklace, So the all the Jivatmas are being compared to the pearls. But that all that pearls again are binded together by a thread inside, isn't it? So that binding thread is the Jivatma, that is the super soul. So everything rests upon me. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Yes. Amit?
Hare Krishna. Text 8. Rasa aham apsu kanteya pravaswami sasi suraya pranava sarva vedesu sabdakhe paurusam risu. Translation. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om. In the Vedic mantras, I am the sound in either and ability in man.
Hare Krishna. So, Lord Krishna is saying to extension, Arjuna, in extension, he is saying the taste of water. Water has got some taste, without it being 100% pure water, we cannot drink also. So, I am the taste in the water, the light of the sun and the moon. So, if you go to the purport, the light of sun and moon are in. So, the light of sun is required for all the living entities, for plants, for photosynthesis, we all require for vitamin D and uh, so all the living and non-living entities require sun. Similarly, the moonlight is also required for blooming of the flowers, the vegetables to bloom. So all those things. And the syllable Om in Vedic mantra, there are many Vedic mantras, isn't it? Before that, we are enchanting the name of one Lord, we'll say Om. So he is the syllable Om in that Vedic mantra, and he is the sound, the thunderbolt whenever there is a rain and all. So where is that sound? It's coming from the ether, means the sky. So and then ability in a man is able to perform his action in a respective field and all. So all those is me. So that's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Hare Krishna. Kritika.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 9. Punyo gandha prithivyaam cha tejaschami vibhavaso jivanam sarvabhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasvishu. Translation. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penance of all entities.
Here again, Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, the fragrance of earth. If you all remember, after a scorching sun, when there is a few droplets of rain water, when it just touches the earth, the fragrance what it emits, you can't compare it, isn't it? That is what is Lord Krishna. So when you see that fire is, it doesn't has any certain form and all, but you can, the moment you go near to the fire, you'll find some amount of a heat, isn't it? So people will get burn, and there are many good and bad thing about it. So what is that heat in the fire? It is again the Lord. So he's the life in all the lives. You take a small amoeba to an ant to a bacteria to a whatever living and non-living things, everything Lord Krishna is deciding. So he is present in all of these. Hare Krishna. Amit. Hare Krishna. Amit, are you there?
Hare Krishna. Text 10. Bijam sarvabhutam yatsaram buddhira buddhimatasmati amil tejasya. Translation. O son of Pritha, Know that I am the origin seed of all existences, the intelligence of all the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men.
So he's the original seed giving father. So he's the intelligent of all intelligent. So where does the intelligence comes? It comes from because he is the compiler of the Veda. He has created everything which is he gives the intelligent everything. So what all we required for our uh, inferiorly located, the material energies are there with us. So for us to progress further, what all is required is given by Lord Krishna only. Yes, Hare Krishna Datta.
Hare Krishna. Text 11. Balam balabatang chaham kama raga vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamotasmi bharatvarsam.
Very well recited. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Translation. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of Bharatas, Arjuna.
Hare Krishna. So he is
Hare
saying
Krishna.
again, yeah, Lord Krishna is saying, I'm strength of the strong. Strong people will be there. So you see in the war film, many Kshatriyas and all, which are, and people who are there in a mode of a Sattva Guna. So they are devoid of a passion and desire. So I am among them, and I am the sex life. Who allows that we beget a child, a couple participate in sex to beget a good child. So what is that? The energy is supplied by me. So, O son of Pritha, O Lord of Bharatas, that's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Yes, Mihir.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Ye chaiva satvika bhava
Ye chaiva sattvika bhava
rajasastamasaschaye
rajastanta matsa chaiva ye
matta eveti tanvidhi
matta ye veti tan vidhi
natva ham teshu te mayi.
natva ham teshu te mayi. Know that all states of be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So whatever nature, whether it's a goodness or a passion or ignorance, whatever energy which is manifested are my energy. Whether it's a superior energy which is there in the mode of a goodness or inferior energy which is there in the mode of a passion and ignorance. In one sense, I am independent. So here when you go to the purport in detail, it will tell you like a judge who is sitting in a court, he will give some judgment. So independent of whatever actions which is there. So depending on the situation, depending on the circumstances, what exactly the verdict has to be given, he will deliver that. But he will not be affected by any of the karma which is happening at that point of time. So like how it is like how a judge who is sitting in the court is independent, similarly the Krishna is totally independent for whatever is happening in the three different modes. So he's not under the any of these three material modes, and he's totally unattached. Like how a analogy we can give, like a lotus leaf, now it stays in the water, but not even a single drop of water will touch it. Okay, so like everything is within me, but I am not attached to all these things. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Hare Krishna, Kritika.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Text 13. त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैर् एभिः सर्वमिदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति मामेभ्यः परमव्ययम्. Translation. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible.
Yeah. So when people who are there in an inferior nature, that is a material mode, sometimes they're deluded by this mode of a goodness or passion and ignorance, and they don't know about Lord Krishna. And Krishna is above all of them, and we can't make an estimate like to what extent he's been there. Hare Krishna, Amit. Yes, Amit.
Hare Krishna. Madam.
Yes, ma. Please read.
Text 14. दैवीहर्ष्या गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्वया मामेव ये प्रपोदन्ते मायामेतं तरन्ति ते.
Yeah.
Translation. The divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Here again, Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, see, it's whatever these three modes of material nature which is there, it's very, very difficult to overcome, but not for the people who have surrendered onto me. So for them, it is very easy because I am there to help them out to pass this ocean of miseries. Yes. Hare Krishna. Datta, you can read next.
Hare Krishna. न माम दुष्कृतो न मुड़ा प्रापद्यते नरध्यमयम् मायाया पारः ज्ञान असुरम भावम असृत्य. Translation. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, those knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the aristic nature of demons do not surrender unto me.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. When you go to the purport of this, four type of miscreants have been described. One is like scientists, and one are they are impersonalist, and some people who don't want to accept the Lord, and some people like politicians, administration. There are four type of people. Okay, so and though they are intelligent, they are wealthy, they have different opulences, but they will not be able to surrender because they are not surrendered soul. All the senses are not engaged on to me. So yes, I think we'll take up last. Yeah, Mihir, you can take 16 sloka.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna Mataji.
yeah. Chaturvidha bhajante mam
Chaturvida bhajante mam
jana sukritino arjuna
jana suskritana arjuna
artho jignasurathati
artho jigna sururtarthi
jnani cha bharatarshava.
jnane cha bharata
Yeah.
shrabha. Translation. O best among the Bharatas, four kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. The distressed, the distressed, the,
The desirer of wealth,
the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So in the previous verse, so what are those four type of a gross ignorant people? You know, now they have everything. They are never ever surrender onto the Lord. Okay, and in this sloka, Lord Krishna is saying, who are the people who actually approach me? The person who is distant, he wanted something like he's not happy with whatever he has, and a person who wanted a wealth, and a person who is inquisitive, what exactly is Krishna consciousness, and a person who is in the search of a knowledge. So can any one of you say who will ultimately reach Lord of these four people?
Jnani.
The person who is in search for the knowledge of the absolute. So he will reach the Lord. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining today. And I think tomorrow we'll complete the rest of the slokas. So that we'll be completing the 7th chapter. Okay, please join, all of you. I'm very happy that all of you have joined. Yeah, any doubts you have? Hare Krishna. Anything you wanted to convey?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for everybody for joining, and please join tomorrow as Mataji said, and to attend the quiz and fill the sadhana chart. That's the only request. Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Did you fill the attendance link which Mataji has shared in the group? All of you?
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Any difficulty in doing quiz also you can discuss in the class, ma. Okay, when we just log in for the class, you can share your difficulties. Okay, please try to do it and please be regular. That's my sincere request to all of you. Okay. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Thank you, co-host and participant, for your active participation. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.